Yes, students, come back again to discuss the other dimensions concerning the alternative question. On the item on part 7.55, look, the structure of alternative yes-no questions. يعني the alternative questions that resemble yes-no question follows the pattern of a causal coordination. That is, two or more separate questions are collapsed together wherever convenient by ellipses. يعني there is something omitted, something ellipted. Why? Let us see. Did Italy win the World Cup or Brazil؟ يعني هي المفروض normal طبعا. Did Italy win the World Cup or did Brazil win the World Cup? But since I have the same the same alternative, the same predication, so there is, I think, يعني there ellipted can or ellipses can be used. يعني actual to get rid of repetition. Did Italy win the World Cup or Brazil? Without repeating did. طبعا شوفوا هاي did هنا انعادت نفس did. Win the World Cup هنا what ellipted. Often the elliptical part of an alternative question is placed within the first question. هذه something within يعني or something often, very often, to inform or to insert the elliptic part when at the first question. The first part in the question. Did Italy or Brazil win the World Cup? Now, I will understand that there is what alternative, whether did Brazil win the World Cup or Italy did Italy win the World Cup? Are you or aren't you coming? Are you coming or aren't you coming? هنا ellipted them to what, are you or aren't you coming? Where there is no repeated طبعا if I have something repeated, there is a structure repeated in the sentence. But if I do not have that repeatedness or I do not have that repetition, no ellipsis is possible. And so the second question appears in its full form. Is it raining or has it stopped? Now do not have something repeated in the question. So I should what? I should make two different questions, full questions. Is it raining? This is the first. Or has it stopped? You see, they are completely different. That's why I do not use ellipses here. This is what concerns the alternative. We have tackled with the yes/no question, with the WH question, with the alternative question. We have minor types of questions, starting with the exclamatory questions. Exclamatory questions. What is an exclamatory question? Is a question in form, بالform, بالappearance. It is what? A question, but is functionally like an exclamation. As a form, it is a question. As a function, it is not. It is an exclamation. The most characteristic type is a negative yes/no question with a falling instead of rising tone. حتى نعرف إن هذا it is not a normal yes/no question. It has a what? It has a falling tone unit, not a rising one. Hasn't she grown? تشوفون even I have what? I have an exclamation mark, not a question mark. لكن as a form it is a question, since it start with what? Start with an auxiliary, with an operator. So as a form it is a question, as a function it is not a question, it is an exclamation. Wasn't it a marvelous concert? It is what? Again, it is an exclamatory one. What is its function here? احنا نقول as a function it is an exclamation. These invite the listener's agreement to something on which the speaker has strongly positive feelings. يعني when I told you that hasn't she grown, هنا أنا متى أسألك؟ No, I want or invite, I want you to agree on what feeling strongly. هذه concerning the negative one. The negative yes no question اللي هو in form is a question, in function is it is what? An exclamation. Concerning positive yes no question, also again with the falling tone, is another but very informal way of expressing a strong positive conviction. Am I hungry? Did he look nice? Has she grown? No. The function of such question is what? To express a strong positive conviction. Now أنا ما أريد يعني attract your attention as a listener. No, I want to express. It is a way for expressing a strong positive conviction. Am I hungry? Did he look nice? Has she grown? Again, all they are with falling tone. Both operator and subject usually receive emphatic stress. هنا يشوفون the operator the subject has what? Emphatic form with such asterisk. In contrast بالنيجاتيف لا احنا يعني normal, there is no emphatic for the operator and for the subject. يعني I may ask you what to differentiate between negative and positive yes no question concerning what? Exclamatory. يعني what simply speaking was differentiate between exclamatory negative and positive yes no question. تنطيني تقول لي it is what? Both of them are with what? With falling tone, but the negative yes no question, it is what? Just to invite the listener's agreement to something on which the speaker has a strong positive feeling, وما عندي هذا emphatic on the operator and the subject. In contrast to the positive, in which the operator and the subject are emphasized, and it is a way for expressing a strong positive conviction. Other minor type of a question, which is what? The rhetorical question. الأسئلة المجازية. سؤال مجازي. يعني there is something, I'm not asking for something missing. أنا متى أقول لك يعني just I ask a question but actually I know the answer for my question. The rhetorical question is one which functions as a forcible statements. Forcible, there's a force, something focus. More precisely, a positive, please pay more attention here. A positive rhetorical question is like a strong negative assertion. Positive, like a strong negative assertion. لكن negative question is like a strong positive one. Positive. Is that a reason for disappear? يعني هذه positive يعني this is هنا من أقول لك is that a reason for despair? Sorry. Actually, I know that there is no, or that is not a reason to or for despair. يعني it is a positive لكن assertion is negative. can anyone doubt the wisdom of this action? Surely no one can doubt. Negative, is no one going to defend me? هذه negative. No one going to defend me. Surely someone is going to defend me. Unlike exclamatory question, these rhetorical questions usually have the normal rising intonation of a yes no question. طبعا keep in mind it has a rising intonation. There is also a rhetorical question, WH question, which is equivalent to statement in which the Q element is replaced by a negative element. A negative element. يعني هذه if you have a WH question, rhetorical WH question means I can substitute the positive or the Q element by positive or so by negative elements. يعني who knows هذه positive مو أقدر أقول nobody knows. What difference does it make? What difference does it make? Does it make? It makes no difference. It makes no difference. هذه concerning the WH or rhetorical WH question. I can substitute the WH or the Q element by a negative element. Again, the intonation is that of ordinary WH question, except that a falling tone is rise fall tone is likely. Yeah. Up to this point, we have completed the major and the minor types of questions of interrogative. Let us take something introductory to what is a command. Command means imperative. Imperative. All of us know that imperative something, and as introduction for imperative, it is start with what? With a base form of the verb. فعل مجرد خالي من أي إضافة. And the outstanding feature of commands in which there is no subject. Something general, there is no subject. But actually we will have many exceptions, I can say, for that I have a command with what? With subjects. All of us know that if I have a command, means I am addressing the listener. I'm addressing what? The listener. اللي هو you. We begin with the must come in category of, you see, must come in category of command. اللي هو without a subject, commands without a subject. That which differs from a statement in that. هسه راح ناخذ the differences between command without a subject and normal statements. The command without a subject has no subjects. Like the statement, it has a subject. Command without a subject, it has what? An imperative. It has an imperative finite verb. The base form of the verb without endings for number of tense. يعني الفعل المجرد الخالي من أي إضافة. Otherwise, the clause patterns of commands show the same range and ordering of elements as statements. For example, SV هذه you see jump لما أنطيك هذه يقول لك jump. For example, I give you a sentence jump, أقول لك state its clause element or state its clause type. تقول لي V or SV, in which the subject اللي هو S is what is what I mean it is what for the subject. Be reasonable. B هو ال V, reasonable اللي هو CS subject complement. SVOA هسه ال puts هي ال V, it هي direct object, on the table اللي هي a place اللي هو adverb of a place. Just a minute please students. The imperative verb, however, is severely restricted as to tense, aspect, voice, and modality. There is no tense distinction طبعا. ماكو tense distinction. يعني starting with the subject, okay? Or perfect or past ما عندي. Or perfect past يعني ما I do not have such perfect. And only very rarely does the progressive form occur. Be preparing the dinner when he comes in. طبعا something very rare to have the progressive aspect يعني no tense distinction ماكو past or present or perfect aspect ما عندي الهاف والهاز. A passive is equally rare to have a command in the passive voice, something rare, except when the auxiliary is some verb other than be, as in get washed, هذه passive verb. These restrictions are connected with the understandable inability of combining an imperative with a stative non-agenitive verb. Sound loud. يعني شنو? What does it mean stative non-agenitive? Non-agenitive means there is no a doer of the action. They are stative. Say sound louder. هذه it is any grammatical sound louder because there is no agent to have. يعني when I say يعني when I sing to you or I ask you to please, for example, Ahmed, sound louder. How comes? Sound louder is something non-agenitive, something what stative. يعني خلي بالكم طلاب يعني هذه ال command or the imperative is one of the tests that are used to test the verb itself whether it is stative or dynamic. يعني when I say for example يعني say what drink stative يعني can I ask you to say what drink water before morning for example. يعني إذا إحنا بالشهر الفاضي drink water before morning. هذه what drink I will understand that drink is stative verb. And what talking to what a genitive or doing by persons, by animates. Modal auxiliaries do not occur at all in imperative sentences. يعني الكان والكود ما أقدر أبدي my command, my imperative sentences using can, could, may, might, should, shall, should. هذه the general characteristics of commands. Again, commands are apt to sound appropriate unless toned down by markers of politeness, such as please. يعني what does this mean? When I ask you, for example, open your book, you will understand that what there is something of what harshness, something of impoliteness. لكن in order to what? To down or to have certain markers of politeness. Please open your books. Please go and eat. And what هذه what يعني نقول shut the door بدون please. You will understand that what I'm very harsh, I'm very what there is some sort of what hard-heartedness. Please eat up your dinner, shut the door please, eventually achieves a minimum degree of ceremony. A more tactful form of a request can only be arrived as if one changed the command into a question or a statement. Will you shut the door please؟ يعني يقول إنه I can make the command from order to what? To a request by changing what? By changing the command from a normal command without a subject starting with the base form to what? To a question or to a statement. يعني حتى نقلل tactfulness or the harsh tone of the command of the order أقدر أعوض عنه by what? By changing the form from a command into a question or by what? To statement. يعني بدل ما أقول لك shut the door, will you shut the door please؟ هذا حتكون more polite. وياي؟ بدل ما أقول لك for example shut the door, حتى لو أقول لك please راح تبقى أكو فد harsh tone بالموضوع. لكن أقول لك I wonder if you would kindly shut the door. I wonder whether you will mind shutting the door. يعني هذه راح تكون more more polite than the order. Yes. This is what concern. Yeah. Just about this point.